Hey everyone, welcome to Agrazia's virtual studio. My name is Amanda. I am a 500-hour certified Pilates instructor and corrective exercise specialist. So this is going to be a quick tutorial on a hamstring activation exercise. So what is the importance of hamstring activation? Our hamstrings have a lot to do with our pelvic placement, which going up the kinetic chain can also be a source of low back tension or hip tightness, all sorts of things. So when we address the hamstrings, sometimes that can help alleviate some of those pain points. All you're gonna need is either a chair or a bench to put your feet up onto. And then if you have a block, great, grab one, or you can use like a full-size towel to roll up to put between the knees. If you don't have either of those, then you could still do this without. We're gonna start laying down on our backs. All right, so whatever surface you're using, chair, bench, you could even do this against the wall. However, I find it really helpful to have something at the bottom of our heels. So you're gonna place the heels on. Ideally, we would be in a 90-degree bend at the hip and the knee. This is a little bit low for me, but just for the sake of demonstration, it's fine. Then you're gonna take your block and place it in between your knees. So you want your knees or your like femur bones, your leg bones, in line with your hip bones here. So arms are gonna be down by your sides. You're laying heavy on the mat. So first thing, I want you to take an exhale and then let those ribs get really heavy into the floor. Okay, so we find a little connection in the front, a little bit of tone and activation in the abs, but we're not squeezing them. So you wanna stay relatively relaxed there. Now on your next exhale, we're gonna drive the heels down into that chair. And you should feel the backs of the legs start to activate. Okay, those are your hamstrings. And then release it on the inhale. We're gonna do a few rounds like that, and I want you to check in with your seat. So a lot of us tend to grip or clench our glutes. The idea here is to isolate the hamstrings and to alleviate some of that gripping. So on your exhale, drive those heels down, keeping the glutes and the low back relaxed. Okay, if you feel yourself starting to tense up there or like even in the front of the thighs, then just keep practicing. Try to reset if you need to. And then exhale, drive those heels down, activate the hamstrings. Okay, if you feel good there, like you're truly able to isolate the hamstrings, then we're gonna start to take it up a notch. So on your next exhale, drive those heels down, and you're gonna use just the hamstrings to pull the tailbone off the floor. You're going into a posterior pelvic tilt, and you're just coming up to a small hover. Okay, so your low back might not even be off the ground right now. You can think of like a bowl of water on your belly. You're spilling that water towards you. So that's your posterior pelvic tilt. Your low back is slightly rounded. And then we're going to slowly roll out of that and then releasing at the bottom. Okay. So again, you should be feeling all hamstrings here. Press the heels down. You use the hamstrings to roll the pelvis into that slightly rounded position in the low back. And then again, check in. Are the glutes relaxed? Are the front of the hips soft and squishy? Is your low belly and low back relaxed? Okay, they really don't need to be doing much here. And then slowly roll back down. We're going to go back into that one more time. Drive those heels down, find that posterior tilt, and we're holding for 3 long breaths. Now, as you get confident to do this on your own, you can do it for more breaths. You can try to hold for 5, maybe even 8 breaths, building some extra endurance there, and you could do a few sets of that. And then slowly roll back down, rolling one bone at a time. And that's it. All right, again, so hamstring strength and having those proper connections are really important for pelvic placement. So keep working on it. If it was really difficult for you to release the glutes, then there may be some release work that you can do before doing this exercise. But please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Happy moving.